Karen Hoa's smug grin could curdle milk from a mile away. She waddled through our quiet cul-de-sac like she owned it. Her voice a foghorn of complaints about standards and property values. It was a Tuesday evening when she set my life ablaze literally. The woman who'd terrorized our neighborhood with her HOA tyranny had finally crossed a line no one could ignore. Karen had been the self-appointed queen of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association for years. Her rules were petty but ironclad. No pink flamingos. No unapproved mailboxes. No cars parked on the street past 9 p.m. She'd fine you for a blade of grass out of place. Then lecture you like you'd spat on her mother's grave. Everyone hated her. But no one dared challenge her. She was a bully with a clipboard. And her power came from fear until she met me. David Tran. The new guy who didn't bow. I'd moved into Willow Creek 6 months ago. A modest fixer-upper I'd bought after years of saving. I'm a county judge. But I kept that quiet, preferring to blend in. Karen didn't care who I was. To her, I was just the guy who refused to pay her special assessment fee $500 charge she dreamed up to fund her pet project. A gaudy community fountain no one wanted. I told her the fee was illegal without a proper vote. She didn't take kindly to being questioned. You think you're above the rules, Tran. She'd sneered at me during the last HOA meeting, her jowls quivering with indignation. Pay up, or you'll regret it. The room went silent. I just smiled and said, see you in court. I meant it figuratively. She took it personally. The feud escalated fast. Karen started leaving passive-aggressive notes on my door, citing violations like my trash cans being visible for an hour past pickup. She'd stand on her porch, glaring, while her yappy dog barked at my every move. Neighbors whispered about her vendetta show. She'd once gotten a family evicted over a late payment. But I wasn't backing down. I sent her a formal letter, citing state law and demanding a vote on the fee. She ignored it. Then came the night of the fire. I was at a late court session when my phone buzzed with a neighbor's text. David, your house is burning. I raced home, heart pounding, to find flames licking the sky. My little house, the one I'd poured my savings into, was a skeleton of char and smoke. The fire department was there, hoses blasting, but it was too late. My life's work was ash. Mrs. Delaney, the elderly widow next door, grabbed my arm, tears streaming down her face. It was Karen, she whispered. I saw her with a gas can, laughing as she poured it on your porch. I couldn't believe it. Karen, for all her pettiness, wouldn't stoop to arson, would she? But then I saw her, standing across the street, her bulk silhouetted against the firelight. She wasn't laughing now, but her eyes gleamed with something sinister. She thought she'd won. The police arrived, and young Officer Ramirez took statements. Mrs. Delaney recounted what she'd seen, her voice trembling but firm. Another neighbor, Jake, a college kid who mowed lawns, corroborated her story. He'd seen Karen lurking near my house earlier, muttering about teaching me a lesson. Karen, of course, denied everything, her voice shrill as she waved her arms. This is slander. I'm the victim here. My reputation's being ruined. The audacity was breathtaking. I stayed calm, though rage boiled inside me. Officer, I said, I want to press charges. Arson. Vandalism. Whatever sticks. Karen's face went pale, but she doubled down, screaming about her rights and how I'd crossed the wrong woman. Ramirez cuffed her, and as she was led away, she spat in my direction. The crowd of neighbors watched in stunned silence. For the first time, Karen looked small. The next morning, I surveyed the wreckage of my home. The roof was gone. The walls blackened. Photos, books, memories all dust. But I wasn't broken. I'd faced worse in life, and I knew how to fight back. I called my friend Sarah, a lawyer who specialized in HOA disputes. "We're taking her down," I said. Sarah laughed grimly. "Oh, David, you're not just any victim. You're the judge who oversees HOA appeals in this county." This is poetic. Karen's arrest made the local news. HOA president accused of arson over feud screamed the headlines. The story spread like wildfire. Ironic, given the circumstances. Neighbors started coming forward with their own Karen horror stories, fines for kids' chalk drawings, threats over untrimmed hedges. The HOA's reign of terror was unraveling, and I was at the center of it. The case moved fast. Karen's lawyer tried to paint her as a pillar of the community, but the evidence was damning. Mrs. Delaney's testimony, Jake's photos of Karen near my house, and the gas can with her fingerprints sealed her fate. She pleaded not guilty, but her arrogance betrayed her. At the arraignment, she interrupted the prosecutor to rant about disrespectful homeowners. The courtroom gasped. I sat in the gallery, silent, letting the system do its work. Then came the HOA hearing. Willow Creek's board was up for review. And guess who presided over the county's HOA oversight committee? Me. I recused myself from Karen's criminal case to avoid bias. But this was different. The HOA's charter was under scrutiny for mismanagement, and I had the power to dissolve it. Karen didn't know I was the judge until she walked into the hearing room. Her face went from smug to ashen in seconds. "Mr. Tran," she stammered, her voice a squeak. "You're the judge." I leaned forward, keeping my tone neutral. "MS. HOA. This hearing is about the Willow Creek HOA's conduct. Let's focus on the facts." The room was packed with neighbors, all glaring at Karen. Sarah presented a dossier of complaints, illegal fees, harassment, forged meeting minutes. Karen tried to interrupt, but I cut her off. "You'll have your turn," I said. She didn't. The evidence was overwhelming. The HOA had operated like Karen's personal fiefdom, with no transparency or accountability. Neighbors testified about her threats, her fines, her vendettas. Mrs. Delaney spoke last, her voice steady. She burned David's house because he stood up to her. She thought she was untouchable. The room erupted in murmurs. Karen shrank in her seat. I delivered the ruling. The Willow Creek HOA is hereby dissolved. All fines issued in the past year are nullified. A new board may be formed, but MS. HOA is barred from participation. The gavel fell, and the room cheered. Karen's empire was gone. Her criminal trial came next. The jury didn't take long. Guilty on all counts: arson, vandalism, and reckless endangerment. As the verdict was read, Karen sobbed, her bravado gone. She was sentenced to 7 years, with restitution for my losses. It wasn't enough to rebuild my home, but it was a start. More importantly, it was justice. I moved into a rental while I figured out my next steps. Neighbors rallied around me, offering food, furniture, even a place to stay. Mrs. Delaney baked me cookies every week, and Jake helped me salvage what little was left of my belongings. The cul-de-sac felt different now, lighter, like a storm had passed. People waved instead of whispering. Kids drew chalk art on the sidewalks again. Karen's fall was a lesson for us all. Power, unchecked, corrupts. But courage, even in the face of a bully like her, can rebuild what's lost. I'm no hero, just a guy who refused to pay a stupid fee. But sometimes, standing up is enough to spark change. My house was gone, but my home, the community, the people was stronger than ever. The end.